Alright, so here we are for round 2, playing Moromete's token deck. I won the first one, and my opponent again chooses to play first. This looks pretty decent, so I will keep. The opponent has a turn 1 play. Oh, a duress. Well, he will, I suppose, take the growth spasm, since that's the only target. It's a little painful, but hardly the end of the world. Draw another colony garden. I think, in this case, actually, I may go ahead and play the Evolving Wilds. Not too worried about getting hit my first turn, and not drawing more lands here would be good. Court Homunculus. With no artifacts, nothing to be too concerned with, although having a blocker here will be helpful. So I will go ahead and fetch a mountain and pass the turn back. Lightning Bolt, that is quite nice. So I will just play out a colony garden, get a blocker in place, and pass the turn back. Since my opponent didn't play an artifact, I don't think it's worth sacrificing the plant token here, especially not with a bushwhacker in hand. I'll just take it, and we'll see what else he's got. Core Skyfisher. Alright, that is worth lightning bolting. That could be a big problem. Go ahead and get rid of that Skyfisher. And the board is pretty much as it was before. Hey, and I draw another lightning bolt. That's great. Obviously here, I think I will go ahead and play the colony garden, since I don't have anything else to do this turn. Create another token, and just pass it back. Let's see what else my opponent has. Still doesn't have an artifact. That's good news for me. And happily take another point of damage, and we'll see what else he's got. Yet another Skyfisher. Well, I will happily destroy that one as well. Skyfisher can be pretty good. I'm actually feeling pretty fortunate that I was able to deal with it so easily. Alright, I think I will go ahead and just play the forest and run out the predator. Next turn I'll be able to growth spasm for the second mountain I need and send in the bushwhacker. My opponent decides not to attack, not surprisingly. And I draw a crusher. That could be very helpful. So like I said, I think the play here is, actually I think I will start out just attacking in with the predator. He may go ahead and destroy it, but that's fine if that's he would like to use any removal on it. No, he's just going to block it. Oh, and playing Smite. Alright, well that's fine. Given all the different options for black and removal, Smite's an interesting choice, but that's fine. I will go ahead and growth spasm for that second mountain, play the island, and pass the turn. And there, unfortunately, is Shrivel. Gets his own card, but I suppose a 5-for-1 is pretty decent for him. Or 5-for-2, I should say. That definitely is painful, but considering that my opponent doesn't have anything else on the table, and that he could have caught me next turn, Not the end of the world. Especially since I still have plenty of things I could do. One more mana and I would easily be able to run out the Lumux Crusher. Ah, see, here's the part of the combo I was talking about, although at least in this case Sanctum Gargoyle is just fetching the Chord Homunculus, which is much less painful than it could be. Let's see what we get here. Ah, Relic. Great. So I think in this instance I will simply play out the Relic. Can't really attack profitably and not really worth attacking with a single Eldrazi spawn, especially since it would be nice if I could sacrifice it to power up the Crusher, so I will just pass the turn. Nice to have that Relic so that if he does have another Sanctum Gargoyle, I'm able to prevent any other shenanigans. Opponent has another Duress. Lets him know I have a Bushwhacker and a Crusher, but otherwise is a blank. Opponent goes ahead and swings in with the Gargoyle here. That would have been nice a couple turns ago, preventing the Shrivel. Given that I still didn't draw a land, I think I would be more than happy to trade off the Nest Invader for the Homunculus if that's a trade he's willing to make. He is not, so he'll take 2. Go ahead and exile another card from his hand. And I'll simply wait and see what else I draw.